Greetings and welcome to Mount Olympus. I am Hercules Invictus, and tonight on Hercules and the Space Gods, I'm proud to bring you Urantia book with Nick Curto. Greetings and welcome, Nick. How are you?
Great, Hercules. Good to be here. And we're doing it on Zoom. I think that's wonderful.
As do I. I think this will help evolve the show a little bit. Let's see how today goes and how everybody feels about it. I'm looking forward to your show today, like always. If you need me, just holler.
Will do. Thank you so much. And again, this is the Urantia book with Nick Curto. This is going on, I believe, over 3 years now that we've been doing a 60-minute program each month. And I'm very proud of all the people that I've interviewed and so many wonderful people that are longtime readers of the Urantia book. And we've discussed passages that they especially were drawn to and felt such a resonating feeling when they were reading them. I've asked people where they found the book or where the book found them. I've gotten amazing answers from all the people I've interviewed, and it's always such a pleasure to meet new people, like tonight, for instance. So we're going to get right to it. The Urantia book is the fifth epical revelation. It combines religion, science, philosophy, and history, and it's unique, absolutely unique in literature, and it's claimed to be presented by celestial beings. And when I first found the book, or it found me, I was in a Unitarian church, and I had been going for 2 years. And that particular Sunday morning, for the last reading, the minister said, "We're now going to read from the Urantia book." And I had no idea what that was. I thought maybe it was from India or a place like that because of the strange name. And he read about 3 paragraphs and then said, "Okay, go in peace. The service is over." And everybody filed out of the church. I had to stay there 20 minutes because literally I had to catch my breath. I'd never have encountered anything quite like that. It resonated to me so powerfully. And I said, this could be the book that I've always searched for and hoped that I would find. And of course, I eventually went online. I met other readers and did a study group for many, many years with Robin and Helene Jorgensen in the Soho section of Manhattan. Wonderful people. They are my dearest friends. And here we are now with this amazing 2,000-page book. So without any further ado, Diane Labrecque, hello. So wonderful to see you.
Hello, Nick. Always nice to see you. Thank you for inviting us.
Absolutely. And please, if you will, introduce our other guest and tell us a little bit about this incredible project.
Yes. Okay. So my dear guest, her name is, do you want Erica Montgomery? She's the one.
Hi.
Yes. Hi, Erica. Before I let you speak, Erica, if you allow me, I would like to share with the listeners a preamble of what is the project about. Okay? Is that okay
Please
with
do.
you?
Yes.
All right. So just a few days ago, when I was having my worship session, my worship peer time with the master, I was suddenly made aware that this project is the 7th phase of the 5th epochal revelation of the Urantia book. Now I'm speaking calmly because I know, Nick, that you have listeners that are not necessarily long-time readers, and we want to attract the world. This is a world project. And so this is why I will take the time to pronounce and not speak too fast, but speak calmly. All right, so what I was made aware of is that this is actually the 7th phase of the revelation of the Urantia book. And by 7, I mean to say that the first one, for us Urantia book readers, we know, it is when the revelators decided to reveal to humanity on Earth, called Urantia, these special information that I think no one knew of before. And it happened through the contact personality and Dr. Sadler, who was with him, had what came to be known as the commission, the contact commission, okay? And so through those 7 people, Dr. Sadler, the contact personality, Dr. Sadler, his wife Lena, their son Sadler Jr., their adopted daughter, Emma Christensen or Christy Christensen, and then Dr. Lena's sister and her wife, Dr. Kellogg, the 7 received what became known as the Urantia papers. Then phase 2, Dr. Sadler was asked to do a study group, private study group at his house with what became known as the forum, comprised of 70 members who studied, listened to Dr. Sadler reading the papers every Sunday, and they would ask questions, they would clarify things, and it gave the revelators the opportunity to get a feedback from Earth, to get a feedback from humans, to know how to adapt those papers and make them really, really precise, revelatory, and transformative, as we know. So that was the second one. Then the third phase was with the Nella printing press. They wanted to make this into a book. So it took quite a period to take all those revealed. I'm sorry, I'm French, so sometimes I invent English words, but I think you understood. They took those revealed papers and put them onto printing press so that it gave us the 4th phase, which was the printing of the Urantia book, first launched in the English language in 1955 in Chicago, in the United States of America. So that was the first phase, and the 4th. And then the 5th one was all the organizations that were born out of that. And many organizations since then have come up to be part of us. We are so blessed. We have the Urantia Foundation, the Urantia Brotherhood at the time, who became known as the Urantia Book Fellowship. We have the Urantia Association International. We have Urantia University International. We have all kinds, square circles, the Spirit of God, many, many, many organizations. And I may forget some. People can find it online. Just type the Urantia book, Urantia book, and you will get a profusion of information. So that was phase number 5. Over the years, many organizations came to exist. And at the same time, the 6th phase came to be study groups around the world. And I looked up, and right now, there are more than 500 registered Urantia book, yes, around the world. But those are just the registered ones. That's not counting the ones who choose to remain private, who do not want to be necessarily part of this whole known information. They're happy like this. We bless them and we thank them. But all this to say that we have many, many, many hundreds of Urantia book around the world. So this is no new feat. Even last night, I had the pleasure to inform some very well personality who was giving an interview, and they did not know about the Urantia book. But as I was listening to their interview, they showed all the signs of someone ready to discover the Urantia book. They were talking about the way they were formed in the Catholic Church, reading the book, the Bible, being with the Mormons, all kinds of religions. But they said, we feel unsatisfied. We hope there's more to it than that. So I was so happy to be guided to contact them, and they're key people. So that was a blessing from heaven, and I sent them the information with lots of love and blessings. So that is really nice. And now that all these 6 phases are moving along really well around the planet, it's like when in the agriculture world, there's a time to sow the seeds, and it requires what? Faith. Because for a long time, we don't see anything. Some people may say, I don't think nothing is happening. I don't see anything. Little do they know that it's all being growing underneath. And they say as deep and as wide as the roots are, as deep, as high and big will be the growth. And so for years and years and years, we've been growing seeds, and it's been developing branches, not branches, but roots around the world. And so now the seventh phase, I was made aware in my worship, is that now the seventh phase is time for reading the book globally. And so these people, Erica, her friend Devin Landis, Charles Leonard, John Zoba, they were blessed from heaven. I told them, this is beyond your control. It's meant to be. It's a guided inspiration. And they were inspired to do this calendar for reading through the Urantia book and matching it so that in 5.5 years, a little over 5.5 years, we're going to reach 2030, the year 2030. And we know that the master died in the year 3080. So that will be the second millennium of the death and resurrection and ascension of our beloved, most beloved master, Jesus Christ Michael. And so these yayas, these youth and young adults, they were so blessed to work together and make this brilliant calendar to allow everyone around the world to read every day one section, not one paper. I won't be long, Erica. After this, it's your turn. But I'm so happy to introduce you to that, because to read only one section Monday to Friday, weekends off. So you can chat with your friends, you can review what you missed during the week, whatever, but it's one section a day, Monday to Friday, with weekends off, and we follow, and the calendar is like an ascending spiral that brings us to 2030. And the whole revelation, the fifth epochal revelation of the Urantia book, will be read by people around the world, people who already, this morning, I was at an executive meeting with the Center for Unity, a CFU, and I was so happy that one person, Dan, spoke up, and he said, you know, I was so happy to be part of the launch of this You Read Through project a week and a half ago. So this is a newborn baby. It just came out of the oven. And he said, I'm so happy, Diane, because he said, I had read the book, but now that I'm reading only one section a day, and I asked him, are you up to date? He said, I'm up to date, Diane. So he said, because I'm reading only one section, this is so great. I'm getting understandings that I would never have thought of because I was more in a hurry to read through and be happy to say I read the Urantia book. Now, one section a day, it's like being at a restaurant and having a platter full of dishes and being offered one dish at a time, tasting it, savoring it, understanding it, and going, oh my God, this is so great. The next day, let me taste another one, another section. And every day like this for 5 years and 8 months. And so this gave birth to the You Read Through. I called them to congratulate them. And I said, you guys, it's wonderful what you did. And then they said, can you help us? I said, I'd love to. I would feel blessed and honored to work with all of you. So now Erica and I have been working to co-host this new project. And Erica, I would love you to speak about the project.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah, we're so blessed to have Diane join our team and everything that she brings. So very excited about that. So yeah, the inspiration for this was that a lot of the younger readers, and I think a lot of readers in general, live in places where they don't have access to a study group. And the study groups have been the traditional way that we have studied the book and learned about the book together and fellowshiped with other readers. So like I personally don't live in a town where there's a single other reader. And also traveling a lot, it makes it hard to attend a consistent study group. So the inspiration was both to have a way to study independently, but in a group. And also this anniversary that Diane mentioned that we're targeting. So Jesus's ascension or resurrection, and then his ascension, and all the things according to the Urantia book that went along with that, all the wonderful things that we were given. So so we reverse engineered from that date back, and then with this idea of reading one section a day, but we wanted to build breaks in. So we have the weekends off, and then we have a couple weeks during the holidays off. So we reversed and engineered from that anniversary, that 2000-year anniversary, to last Wednesday, the 18th, which was the first day that we started reading. And it is a perfect time to jump in, because we actually don't start reading we're in the foreword of the book right now. So we don't even get into the first paper of the book until next Friday, the 4th. So perfect time to jump in. So essentially it's we're reading independently. Of course you can read with other people, but you're reading at home anytime you can throughout the day. But the idea is that we're all reading the same section at the same time. So we're connected in spirit in that way. And so far I think we're 8 days in, and it's been amazing for me too. Like Diane said about the story of the man and her meeting this morning. I mean, I'm having so much more comprehension of the teachings in the book than I ever have before, because of the pace and the ability to maybe even read it multiple times. So yeah, so we're really excited about it. And what Diane and I have put together is we are planning a monthly Zoom meeting for anyone who wants to join in on that. And we're planning to do that for the whole duration of the 5 years, 8 months. And that will be the first Sunday of every month for the next 5+ years. And that's going to be a combination of learning, talking about what we've read over that past month, and maybe talking about our experiences. And we want to bring in other teachers and speakers to help talk about, anyone who is an expert in the area of what we're reading. So we want it to be really dynamic and fun and educational. So we're really looking forward to that. And our first meeting will be October 6th. So just a week from tomorrow. So we're going to be co-hosting that, and we're very much looking forward to that. But yeah, it's been just a wonderful inspiration that multiple people kind of had at the same time. And then we've had a whole bunch of other people come in and help already on the project, which we're so grateful for. And we're really looking forward to it. If you are looking at the video, this is one of the original printings of our calendar. We have some new ones now, but essentially this is it's a spiral, and it goes around for 5 years. And it's very hard to see here, but each little rectangle is a day. So it says whether it's a reading day or a non-reading day. And the idea is that you could color in your calendar, you can write notes on it, or whatever works for you, but to kind of track your progress throughout the next 5 years and 8 months. So that was just this fun spiral. As Diane said, we're spiraling upward and out. So that was also an inspiration, the calendar, and really, really fun to make. And we'd love for anyone who's interested, we're willing to send those out to people as well. And we have a website also if people want to check it out for more information.
It's such an exciting project. What an exciting concept it is. And when I heard it, I said, oh my goodness, this is going to be one of the parts of the history book of the Urantia movement, that this is going to be one of the big steps that was taken. I am so proud of everybody who has anything to do with this huge, wonderful project. I have had some wonderful years in study groups, I think 3 study groups, a lot of years. And when I'm in a study group and we read a section, and then we stop and we analyze it and talk about it. And I've always felt that I've learned so much by the questions that someone else will ask, because sometimes I will have that same question, or I didn't think of it, and then it's raised and we discuss it, and it gives it a lot more depth, even more depth of understanding. So this is a magnificent project. I just got to say right off the bat how wonderful this is.
This is why I said, Nick and Erica, and to all of your listeners, this is why I said this is divinely guided. This is a divinely guided project. Our Lord and Master, Jesus Christ Michael, our beloved Jesus, okay? He wants us, he wants his Urantia family to read together. And like you said, Erica, this is so true. We know that we're not just energy, we're not just matter, we're also energy. And so to know that every day, anywhere in the world, someone who has the Urantia book can go through the calendar. And by the way, the website is You Read Through, you, the letter U, read through, THRU, just the letter U, youreadthrough.com. And you can see the beautiful poster, yes, with the enlarging vision. So you get the whole idea, and you can ask them to send you a calendar. It's going to be a work of art. In 5.5 years, Erica, we're going to have people showing their work of art and what they did and what they come up with. And the Master wants us, Jesus wants his planet to now come out of the soil of growth and together, raise together. And this is why I said that we had 2 launches on, like Erica said, on the 18th of September, a week and a half ago, and last Sunday. And it's really nice because going that way, we're taking the time. And because we are taking the time, I was telling people at the launch that one time when I was with my company, I was invited to do a show in Monaco. And after the show in Monaco, there's noise coming up. Okay.
I think, Hercules, maybe you want to take Harry out of this right now, because there's a sound problem.
Yes, there is a
Just
sound
if you
problem.
can switch him off, because it's not going to probably not going to get any better right now. Yeah, it's bad. So if there's a way to switch him off, he'll totally understand that.
Okay. All right. So we were all in Monaco with me. So at the end of the show in Monaco, I wanted to buy a perfume. And so because the world famous place for perfumes is in Grasse, next to Monaco, I thought, oh my God, I have the chance to go. So I went to Grasse, I visited the house, and I told them, I said, I would like to have a perfume, but it's a special perfume, maybe something for me. And she said, well, I'll give you the recipe that we use when we make a perfume for someone. And the reason why I'm saying this, Nick, is because it applies to our reading. And this morning, the man who spoke, Erica, that's what he told me. He said, I discovered things that I thought I knew, but by reading it like I suggested. And so at the perfume house, they said, okay, she said, it was a she said, okay, she came to me with a big tray and many fragrances. And she said, first, I need to know what attracts you, what doesn't. And so I smelled one after the other, and I would say, I love this. Well, okay, medium. No, I don't like this. And the big tray came down to less fragrances. She said, you went through phase 1, la note de tête, the note of head. You just need to make yourself accustomed to smells. And then she said, now let's go into phase 2. From the ones you chose, I would like you to go back, smell them again, and just pay attention to how you feel about them. We've eliminated the ones you didn't like. And so I went back and I did that. And it's like she said to me, ça s'appelle la note de cœur. It's called the note of the heart. And I smelled each one on that smaller batch, and it was like, not so much anymore. Oh, this one, yes, now it's even better. And so it reduced the second batch to a few, 4 or 5 only. And she said, now let's go to phase 3, la note de fond. When you put the note of head, the note of heart, and you just go like this. And you see which one suits you really like a tea. And I went, took, this one. And that's how I got a perfume made. And so I came back home and I thought, this is brilliant. And I started to apply it to my Urantia book reading slowly but surely. And so because we're only offering to read 1 section a day, it's no big deal. We have plenty of time. It can be done 3 times in a row. It can be done, like you said, Erica, when they get up, and then sometime in the afternoon and before bedtime. But to read it, if it's a suggestion, it's not an obligation, but it's a suggestion that works wonderfully well. And if they do want to read it the first time, we get the gist of the words. It's here. We just get what the section is about. And then when we read the second time, our mind knows what is coming up because we've already read those words. So we don't worry about the words anymore, and we receive it more with our heart. We try to go down 18 inches below to the heart and say, I think I understand better what it says. Okay. And if we do go to the third time, after we've blended the head and the heart together, it just settles itself into phase 3. And it's wonderful to see how it works, because all of a sudden it's like, poop, poop, poop. Oh my God, I just connected. I hadn't thought about that. So can you imagine, once a month, Erica and I are going to host, it's a support team to support people, readers, to help them, to make them feel that we're a family, we're a united Urantia family, and that we're all in it together. And so some people may have gotten something that we would never have thought about this specific section, and vice versa. We may feel inspired to offer an inspiration we got, that someone will say, wow, thank you so much, Erica. Thank you so much, Nick. I never thought about that. And this is how we will grow together, elevate ourselves as one big united Urantia family, growing in the true spirit of brotherhood as Jesus taught everyone on earth during his bestowal on Urantia.
Beautifully phrased. Diane, you've done it again. You're just the way you phrase things and the way your concept and the way you express it, how wonderful, really. I want to say something here. This just happened to me yesterday, but I happened to hear a song. I've never heard it before. It's I think, one of the most beautiful spiritual songs I have ever heard. And I was very excited about it. I had to look it up to see who was singing it. It's a country Western kind of song. It's that kind of a style. And I heard it and I could not get it out of my head. Why am I saying this to you now? Is that if you could get permission and use that as the theme song before you start a session or when you end a session, it would give everyone this glow, this lift, because the lyrics are so inspiring, and it's really something. It just caught me. I was listening to it just a little while ago again, and I'm going to send you the link so you can hear the song.
Yes.
It's called "I Know Someone Who Can." I know someone who can. And the someone, guess who that someone is? I think you know. Yes, he's a friend of all of us, for sure. Right?
That's right.
Right, and
He's the best.
It is so inspiring, and you're singing, you're dancing to it because it's that kind of a song. You want to move to it. It's joyous, and I think if the sessions that you're doing would start with that song and end with that song. It's the perfect way to wrap up a session. So if you can get permission, I think that he would give it to you. And boy, it would, I want to just suggest, so I'm going to send it to you, and please send it to Erica. And
Yeah.
Erica, you hear it too. And I would like your response, both of you, of what you think of this new, I believe it's a pretty new song. And I've never heard of the singer before, but he does have some other songs on YouTube. I heard him on YouTube. But this particular song, I know a friend who can. Wow. It just moved me so much. So I'm very excited about that. And you know, and you said this too, Diane, that one thing leads to another. That one thing, it's like a blessing, and then you get another blessing, and then another door opens up. And this is my life too. This goes on all the time. And it just seemed like, why am I being tapped on the shoulder and saying, listen to this song, listen to this. And then here we are with this program. And I thought, put two and two together, you got to tell them about this song. So anyhow, I will send it to you right after the program. And then
Yes.
please give me feedback for it. And I'm sure you can, if you like it, you can ask him if he'll give permission to use it.
Thank you, Nick.
Anyhow, I just want to put that in there. I just want to also just add right now before we go more further, is that the book is now in 28 world languages and more to come. And that's exciting. It's amazing, the project and the love that was put in to giving everyone in the world this book in all the world languages. And if you go to the websites, I'm going to give you 3 websites right now. You can not only read the book, but you can hear the book, because amazing people recorded every single paragraph of this book in order. And I know people, if they go on a trip, they put the recording on so that they're hearing the Urantia book as they drive, especially long trips. And it's just an amazing project that is there for everyone. Of course, on the internet, it's free. You can read the Urantia book for free, and you can listen to the Urantia book for free. And as I said to someone, the Urantia book is like, to me, it's like potato chips, because once you start, you're not going to stop. You're not. And I am guilty. I am just as guilty as everybody else when it comes to potato chips. If I take one, I know, okay, the bag is mine. The bag is mine. So anyhow, but I wanted to just give a couple of websites. The first one is, they're all www.urantiabook.org. I'm going to repeat it. urantiabook.org. That's an amazing website by the fellowship. Another one that's from here in New York City is Urantia, urantia.nyc. It's a magnificent website. A lot of information is on there also. So those websites I highly, highly recommend. Okay, Diane, you take it from here now.
Yes, but before I say something, I would like Erica, would you feel like telling the listeners a little bit about your partners? Because you were 3-4 involved in this project. Would you like to tell us how it started or how you came along to work together?
Sure. It's almost it's almost hard to remember. I know we were even talking to you about who reached out to you? When did we reach out to you? Because it just all happened so fast, and it did feel divinely inspired. So it just, a lot of things came together at once. But I think what happened, we had a friend, John, who has been kind of dreaming about doing a project like this for a couple of years, but he's busy with raising a family, and he just kind of felt like it was never he didn't have time to make it happen. But I think back about in February, I had just finished a reading of the Urantia book, and I was thinking, like, what am I going to do next? What am I going to do next? Do I just start over at page 1? I'm sure other people have had that experience. And I was thinking, kind of doing the calculation, like if I read it in 1 year, how much do I have to read a day? Or if I read it in 2 years, how much do I have to read a day? So thinking about those calculations, and then just realizing that, maybe reading 1 to 2 papers a day is just, it is not really realistic for me anyway. So starting to think about what an ideal like reading schedule would be like. And at the same time, I was talking to Devin Landis about it, and he was kind of having that thought too, like, well, what if we got some kind of a reading schedule going, and we had a few of us who would read together, or read the same thing at the same time, not necessarily together. And I think he had kind of had an experience of doing a reading where he was seeing parallels in his life to what he was reading. And then we were kind of thinking, what if we had a big group of people together reading the same thing? And then what if they all were starting to have these similar experiences or happening in their lives? And just what could it start to look like? And then I think we ended up talking to John, and he said, oh my gosh, I've been thinking about doing something like this for several years. And he had figured out that if you did 1 section a day, I think it would take, I forget what he had calculated, but if 4 years or 8 years or something. But he had at one point calculated it out. And then we decided, well, let's try to backdate it from this anniversary that's coming up. And then we wanted to build in the days off. So that's how we came up with the 1 section a day, Monday through Friday. So the 3 of us kind of put that schedule together, did the math, got the start date. And then I think it was just right after that we brought Charles Lenner. He's a really nice kid I think he's 30, out of Long Island, and he's a computer programmer. So we brought him on to help us with tech stuff and to actually do the calendar. He and Devin did the calendar in the program. We designed it, but they executed it, which was not easy. Took many hours to do. And then Charles has helped us a lot, or he built our website, which is simple. It's got like kind of a 90s feel, but it has everything you need to find on there. So he's helped us a lot with all the tech stuff. And that was the initial team. And then we got in touch with Diane, because we know that she has this wonderful event, the Jubilee of Jubilees, which happens on May 18th, I believe, which is which is the Ascension of the Master and the coming of the Spirit of Truth, and a bunch of really important things according to the Urantia book. So she does that celebration every year, and we knew, since this was a date that we were targeting, and when I say targeting, I mean we're going to be reading about that on the anniversary. So we knew that this was an event that she was doing every year, and that maybe she would be interested. And thank God she was. So then we brought Diane on, and we've had a bunch of other help since. It's just been amazing. Ruthie Wild, Brad Gardner, a lot of people have helped make this all happen and given input. And so it's been wonderful. But it really just it was definitely angelically helped along, and it all just kind of happened very quickly. So
yes, when I think about it, Erica, 4 months ago, I didn't even know about you. I didn't even know about Devin. I didn't even know about Charles. And to think that we've already done a double launch. And in a week tomorrow, we're starting our monthly gathering together. And this is why, first of all, I'd like to say that when I called John and told him congratulations about the project and all that, I laughed when I heard you say that, Erica, because over the phone with John, he told me the same story, that it started, quite a long time ago. And he had the inspiration and he said, well, I kept putting it down, Diane, because I have my children and my life and my work and all this. And he said, but it kept popping up. And then I would put it aside and it came back. And then I laughed. I said, John, when God has a plan, do you think you can argue with him and just say, no, I don't feel like it? So it kept coming back. And so it makes me laugh because it proves to me when this is God meant, when it is divinely guided. You just said a key word, Erica. So much has happened since. I mean, 4 months is like, it makes me think of when I started my company. I did not know. And a month later, my company was invited to Europe to go with the biggest exhibitors. That's when things happen because they are meant from above. And this is what's happening. We've just launched it and I've already gotten calls. You've gotten call, Erica, of people wanting to help. You, Nick, just suggested the music. I was just thinking we need to get a music before the event. Here you are suggesting. So it's all going click, 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 just like the wheels of a Swiss watch. It reminds me of my Longines watch in Europe. And it just has this mechanism, you know, that works so great. So we are like that. We are all part of those click, 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 click. And it's by doing our part that the wheel turns, because the master wants to see us in 2030 and say, well done, good and faithful servants. Because now I have a lot of my children aware of my revelation because of us. And like I said today at the CFU meeting, and like I say to some people, it's going to be nice because when we progress in heaven, after we leave our mortal body and our soul continues heavenward and paradiseward, we're going to be able to high five one another and say, wow, you remember we were there when we launched that reading project, worldwide reading project, where we all did it together. And it's not a question of competition, of who's better than who. No, we're in it together. And we're in it to support one another, to love one another, to encourage one another, to support each other. And so it's the grandest experience. And that's why I wanted to share that in my worship. He made me aware that this is the 7th phase of the 5th epochal revelation of the Urantia book, after the contact personality, the forum, the printing, the launching of the book, all the organizations, people. We are spoiled now with the internet to just type Urantia book and it's like a candy bar, you know, you just have so much places and information to get, and then all the multitudes of study groups. So now the test has come, the time has come to go into reading the Urantia book together.
Diane, my listeners, how do they find out more? Is there a website? What can you give them?
Yes. First of all, like I said earlier, Nick, Erica and I invite every one of your listeners, Nick, to go to You Read Through, the letter U, just you, read, READ, through, THRU.com. And they will get the support, the invitation to receive a calendar, and so on and so forth. And what I would like to invite people is to connect with us via email if they have, Erica and I, if they have questions, if they have suggestions, anything. Erica, do you want to give your email address?
Sure. It's Erica, ERICA .Montgomery, MONTGOMERY at Urantia, so URANTIA, book, BOOK.org.
Good. And for me, I'm going to give my Gmail address for tonight, but I have now a new email, but it will be activated within the week or whatever. So I will maybe give one or two. The one that they can reach me at immediately is my name, Diane, Diane, Labrecque, LAB as beauty, R as Robert, C as Charles, QUE, Diane Labrecque, number 7 at gmail.com. And if they want to try, let's say in a couple of weeks, they can reach me at Diane, Diane .dianelabrecque.com. So Diane at dianelabrecque.com. So it's going to be nice and easy.
Excellent. And also I want to give my email too. And that is NICKNYNY1, and that's the numeral 1 at gmail.com. I'm going to repeat it, NICKNYNY1 at gmail.com. And if you have any questions or comments, I always welcome that from my listeners. So please go right ahead. They'd be very welcome. Well, guys, this is amazing. This is just what a wonderful program this is. What joyous news that you've given us. And you know, the way the world is going, we need the Urantia book. I think you're going to agree with me, more now than ever before, worldwide. It's never been more needed now. And here we are doing everything we can to make that happen. And I think that we're being tapped on the shoulder saying, go for it. Just go for it. Take out all the stops. People are yearning for truth. They're yearning for what is really going on as a spiritual being. What happens when they pass on? What has Jesus said about that? What has Jesus said about the universe? All of that is answered in the Urantia book, and so much more, as you well know. And it's such an exciting read. I mean, truly an exciting read. I couldn't put it down. I still can't.
This is why Nick and Erica and everyone, this is why I said earlier, this is meant from above. This is divinely guided. The hour has come. You know, when people would ask Jesus, what about being baptized? No, my hour has not come. What about now? No, my hour has not come. And then one day two of his brothers came to him and said, oh, by the way, John the Baptist is baptizing in the Jordan, close to here. And Jesus knew his hour had come. He just undid his apron, put it on the table, and said, come on, my brothers, let's go to the Jordan to be baptized. And that put the end of his personal ministry, and that gave birth of his new public ministry. And the baptism is the line between the two. And so there is a time for everything. It's like someone said, a maestro, you know, a maestro for a concert said one time, every musician can be great, but there is a time for every partition to play. And if they don't wait for their time, the symphony can be all screwed up, messed up, because you didn't play your part on time. So now the time has come for him to guide us to do this new phase, because it has all been laid down. Everything, the organization, the study group, the printing, the translations, everything. Now it's time for the world to discover. The world, it's not going to be conspiracy theory anymore, if I can make this joke. But, you know, to think that, no, there's the Bible. You remember the beautiful program I did with you, Nick, about the importance of the Bible and the Urantia book, and the in-between with the paramony that Dwayne Fa made, Dwayne Fa, and there's more than 60,000 correlation between the Bible and the Urantia book. So there's a time for everything. And so it brings me to the joy of saying that this is going in line with the new program that we will do soon, talking about the HD mode. The HD mode, living in our human divine mode, which is exactly in synchronicity with this You Read Through project of reading the Urantia book.
Absolutely. We're up to the last few minutes here. Certainly, I want to thank you both. I want to thank you just for who you are, for what you're doing, the wonderful work that you are doing. The world will respond, and the world needs the Urantia book. And anything that we can do and you know what I call us? Messengers of light. Messengers of light. I love that expression. It came in a dream to me and said, you are messengers of light, and we need light on this planet now more than ever. We need to get through a very difficult time. This is going to help us so much. So blessings. Thank you both so much for being my guests. And I'd like to, next year, I'm going to give you some dates, and you tell me what's good, to do a follow-up on this program and see how this amazing project is doing, and probably some surprises along the way. So I'm going to give you an invitation for both of you to come back on this particular subject somewhere in here we go, 2025. Here we go, 2025. So with that, I'm going to say much love to you both. This is Nick Curto for the Urantia book. I want to wish you all an enlightened life journey. Till next time, please explore the deep wisdom and limitless love contained in the Urantia book. Stay safe and be very, very kind to one another. Goodbye for now. Much love to all of our listeners everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Till next time, good night and many blessings to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you all so very much for a very informative and interesting episode. And I look forward to your next conversation whenever it happens to be. And I want to thank our wonderful audience for tuning in. And Diane, you had something you wanted to add before we signed it?
Actually, Hercules, first of all, I wanted to say you look very good.
Well, thank you.
Yes, I mean what I'm saying. You have a nice energy. It's the first time we meet visually, and you have a very, very nice energy. Okay, I just wanted to leave your audience, Nick, with a word of hope, because we know that we are going through a difficult time, like you said, Nick. It is not a political or anything other than a spiritual battle. It's a spiritual war that we're going through, and it's the end of one world, but the beginning of a new world. And this is why the Urantia book is so beautiful, and this reading project. And we know that when it's the end of a phase and the beginning of a new, there is this in-between period where it's rocky. Like I say to people, make sure you put your belt on, because it's going to be rocky, but it's only for time, because as one is dying, the other one is being birthed. And this is what the hope is all about with the 5th epochal revelation of the Urantia book. Just as a word of hope.
Well, thank you for that added insight. Everybody have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Good night, everybody. Good night.